Hey guys, welcome to WoW Weekly with Myst, and it's going to be a bit of a shorter week for this week's video, mainly because with all the classic hype, there really hasn't been much else going on, so there's not a whole lot for the news part of our video, but there is a bit. So we will start the video out like we always do with my goals and my accomplishments. This week we got a mount again, which I was really amazed because 2 weeks ago we got a mount from our mount runs, so that was really cool. I got the mount that drops in Firelands, the Flame Talon of Alice Razor. So that was very cool. I already have the other mount that drops off rags. So we're done with Firelands now. So that was awesome. Took quite a few attempts. I was at attempt like 130, I think, on that mount. So yeah, we're knocking it down, guys. Another thing I accomplished is I decided to go back to continue my Timber Maw rep, which has been a task of mine for a while. I think about it and then I'm like, nah, not today. So finally I went back today and we knocked it out really easily. Yeah, it really didn't take too long. I was honored when I got out there and we went all the way to Exalted. And that's basically all I did this week. I didn't really hop on the rogue much. Yeah, there hasn't been much. Mythic-wise, I did a 9. I was hoping to do a 10, and there's still a chance I may tonight. But I'm actually okay with the 9 just being done. Yeah, I've been playing a little bit of Elder Scrolls lately, and I've been liking that. So I'm kind of like not really juggling the two. You know, WoW is always the important one, but I've been playing some of the Elder Scrolls this weekend, so yeah. And, the main reason is because I'm caught up. I've done all my mount runs, all my transmog runs. Okay, so for goals. Our goals are going to be the same as they were last week. The goal is to get the rogue to 120. And we're pretty close, and I'm pretty sure we can pull it off this week. Now for next week's events. Next week is gonna be, or this week we should say. I always say next week because like next week to me in WoW world is Tuesday. And yeah, so yeah, if you ever hear me say next week, it just means tomorrow. Okay. Anyway, on Tuesday, when it resets and we have the new week start, it is going to be the first time that Draenor does their time walking. So definitely do your time walking this week because, yeah, it's first time for Draenor. And if you're kind of caught up with tokens and stuff, you'll be able to get one of the new mounts that'll be available. And if not, before you know it, it'll be back around. The time walking cycles pretty well, I would say. So there'll be that, and we'll be doing that on the Saturday stream if anyone wants to join us for that one. Also, there'll be the PvP brawl, and that one is the Cooking Impossible one. And the new affixes for this week will be teaming, which is when there is more ads in a dungeon. And quaking, which is is, the ground quaking. And it inflicts damage and interrupts. And then Fortified, which is 20% more health on the adds, and they deal 30% more damage to you. So all in all, in my opinion, it's not a bad week. This is one of the better weeks you could ask for affixes. Okay, so I really only have 2 pieces of news for you guys this week. We will start with the quest His Eye Upon You. You may have done that. It starts as a world quest, and it leads up to you having the gift of Enzoth, who later on speaks to you, because there's been a lot of whispering lately, which has been cool for some players and annoying for others. But there's been a lot of people who have noted that they usually play with sound, and they chose to have no sound running because the whispering was 24/7 in their ear, basically, from this item. So anyway, there's been some hot fixes. Apparently, the buff wasn't supposed to be on for everyone, and it was a bug. I chose to keep it, so to me it wasn't a bug, or at least I don't think so. So anyway, if you chose not to keep it and the buff stayed on, chances are it's off now. And yeah, there's speculation that maybe on Tuesday there might be something going on with, the gift there. That's what people think the whispering was about, but we don't know, right? We will just find out on Tuesday. And the second piece of news is for the second stress test. They have decided to do another stress test for the 29th. And if you got in for the first stress test, you will automatically be available to do this next stress test. They're going to keep all those invites the same. For those that may be a little confused, because it can be confusing when you get the stress test, it will say beta and stress test. That does not mean you have the beta. I am not sure why they word it that way, but if it says beta and stress test, it means stress test. It means all you got is the stress test. Now, for those that maybe have no idea what the stress test really is it is nowhere near what a beta is. I will tell you that. Basically, what it is you get access to test for 2 hours. The servers will stay open for another 24 after that, then they close. So basically, you have access for a day. And then when those servers close, you're done. They have upped the level for this stress test. The first one was a cap of level 5, which seemed pretty low, but whatever. I guess when you only have access for a day, who cares, right? But they have upped it so you can go up to level 10 for this next stress test. And as far as the beta goes, they did do a blue post earlier in the week, basically saying that they were done sending out invites. So that is unfortunate. I think they could definitely use more people in the beta, but yeah. So who knows? I wouldn't say stop checking. I'm not sure if they're handing out emails. I just always check my launcher. So that's generally how I know. I just check the launcher and then see it from there. But I do know an email came in when I got into the stress test. So who knows? Maybe, maybe it is emails. I just don't usually pay attention to emails. That's why I just check the launcher. So I wouldn't give up just because they say they're not going to invite. Doesn't mean that you don't, magically get an invite. I would still, keep an eye out for it. So yeah, to summarize, stress test on the 29th. It will start up at 2 p.m. Pacific time, so that's when you'll be able to get into the servers, hopefully. There were a lot of people this last time that didn't get into servers, and I think that's why they've chosen to keep those people for the second test. And then you will have access to that server until Thursday on the 30th at 4 p.m. Pacific is when you're going to lose access on the stress test server. Now, I did just think of a third piece of news that we could add, and it's from one of my weekly runs. It's a bug that I reported. Okay, so basically I run Siege of Orgrimmar every week, and there's 2 old bugs in there that pretty much everyone that runs them on a weekly basis knows. One is the second boss in the raid, which is the Protectors, the 3 guys that you gotta kill. And then the second one is the Klaxi. Now, how you fix those old bugs is you just DPS down as fast as you can. However, I have noticed from doing them many times that having someone with you can fuck that up. Usually if I have a friend with me, they step outside, I go in, I DPS, and then we move on. Sometimes that second person is what causes the bug. So we're used to those 2 old bugs that Blizzard seems to refuse to fix. However, there was a more serious bug this week, and it was with the second boss in, which is the Protectors, the 3 that you kill. And basically what happens is only one of them is actually available to target. So you can't even attempt to kill the other 2. And of course, as many of you guys know, that particular boss, they all have to go down together, or else their health goes back to full and you're starting over. So I reported that bug, and of course when I went there were a lot of other people that had noticed it as well. So I just thought I'd add that into our news piece this week, that that bug may exist when you go to run Siege of Orgrimmar. It depends on if they have fixed it yet. And also, if you haven't ran it, you now know about the 2 old bugs that I just mentioned. And like I said, you just DPS as fast as you can. If you have a person with you, get them to, be outside of the fight and it'll just go fine. However, there is this new bug that stops you from even progressing, basically. So hopefully they will fix that, and I'll let you guys know next week, because I do Siege every week, so I will let you guys know if it was fixed. And that is all I really got for you guys, so I hope you're having a great week, and I hope you have fun in the time walking this week, and we will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.